Hi everyone, it's Nadia. It's September, the annual recovery month. Um, I am an addict and alcoholic in recovery, and I've celebrated 6 years of a sobriety this year, so I was quite happy about that. Um, I was actually just watching the video that I actually posted last year, talking about my recovery journey or my addiction career, my recovery journey a little bit. Um, and it has actually drastically changed since then. Um, I um, I finally got the help that I needed for other matters than drug and alcohol addiction. I went to St. John of God for a 2-week assessment, which lasted 3 months, or close to 3 months, 80 days to be exact. I was diagnosed with ADD. I was diagnosed with emotional dysregulation. But also, I finally talked about the eating disorder that I was actually, that I've been battling with for what I feel it's my entire life. Um, you know, and I've always been on the spectrum of an eating disorder, and this time it's BED, so binge eating disorder. For the last, since I moved into this new place last year, actually, in May, I have been abusing laxative to try and make me lose weight. And the reaction, the way it was actually working with me was very much like it's described in the book, right? For alcohol or drug, right? The obsession of slimming, the obsession of dropping weight, the obsession of eating was so powerful, so powerful. I actually could not, I had no choice but actually go with it. I had literally kind of felt like I had no other options. And it was a secret, of course, right? I was always on a diet to go. I remember, like, if I look back, in like, back in the day when I was younger, food was actually kind of used as either punishment or reward. I was always kind of laughed at when I actually ate a little bit too much. Um, and it was something, obviously that stayed with me for a very long time. And in Paris, and I'm actually only feeding myself with drinking like 2 liters of Coca-Cola, maybe an apple yogurt a day. And eventually I passed out because I had no energy. I had like no nutrients in my body. And then I actually moved back and moved into the other side, like of the spectrum of eating disorder, which is actually literally overeating. And then I meet somebody, and I am kind of slimming for that person. And then that person is gone and I'm eating again. And, at the end of my drinking and using career, I was actually binge eating. I was like, it was the same as the addiction, of a mind altering substance. It actually gave me that same ease and comfort and disgust at the same time. I And for the last 6 years of my recovery, it is something that I've never really became clean with. I always knew I needed to lose some weight, blah, blah, blah. But the self-image, the self-loathing, the self-hatred was actually so there still and so prominent. I was actually completely, in a way, in denial for a long time. And my mental health was obviously impacted by this, right? And my mental health was declining, COVID being, one of the things that I thought was a blessing. And it just came back and actually literally cut me to ribbons. Um, I was working from home. I was eating from home. I was not going out. I wouldn't leave my house for 4 weeks, unless someone would actually say like, "Hi, do you want to go and do something?" Restrictions were great. And I lived in that denial that it was exactly what I needed. So throughout the years in even in recovery, like I had moments where my mental health declined, but I never really took any steps. I just quit my job. I took a rest, quote unquote, which was actually literally doing nothing and actually just, dipping further and further into this. I had a few therapists. I had one in particular which was very extremely good. Um, and I'm very grateful for that because it helped me to figure out like different things for me. But I was still, funnily enough, not really fully honest. Maybe I wasn't ready. I don't know, right? Um, but it's not like, well, maybe it's just complete denial. That's what it was. I can still figure it out by myself. I can deal with it by myself. And my experience tells me that I can't. But yet again, I still believe that I can. It's fucked up, literally. Um, so, you know, um, Last year, though, what happened is I went to my GP and I was on antidepressants, and I went to my GP and I said like, why am I still agitated? Why am I still so like anger was coming back and it was like horrible. So she says like, let's up the medication, and I just went, no, I want to scan for my brain. I don't want to take those medication anymore. I really want to know what's happening in there. So the only thing that she could do was actually refer me to a psychiatrist, and the appointment took until May for it to take place. So it's quite a long time in between, trying to um, hang on, you know, um, pushing those feelings away, and dipping at the same time more and more into this false sense of comfort of being on my own. Um, you know, increasing, I would weigh myself about like 15, 20 times a day, um, being disgusted with myself. And with that comes, I need to kind of eat those stupid laxatives, and I would eat them. And then I would try to eat and I would overeat, and then I take some more. It was just spiraling out of control, absolutely spiraling out of control. And with that, I start losing concentration at work. I get sick a lot, physically sick. Obviously, I'm destroying my body from the inside, right? And it's still not enough for me to stop. Go figure. Um, and I start telling my managers, like at work, that I'm not feeling well, that I'm losing concentration. I'm actually getting impatient. I'm getting frustrated. I kind of find it hard to juggle many things at once, blah, 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 blah. And I think the closer the appointment with the psychiatrist was coming, the more I was actually letting go. And when, back in May, I think, something like that, May, um, I, um, I got sick again, and it had the same feeling of when I was getting sick, when I was in active addictions, the same guilt, the same like, you know, it felt so self-inflicted. Um, but yet again, I just couldn't function. I couldn't function at all. Um, and so finally what I did is, at some point I had to read The Samaritans, um, because my head was actually going. I was just like so desperate. Um, and I went back to work then on a Monday, and I don't know, couldn't function. My brain was like, nope, nope, you're not supposed to be doing this like at all. Um, so I got an appointment with my managers, and I just literally broke down. Like I said, like I can't function. I'm just on. So I managed to talk to someone else as well, from the VHI, and same again. I actually talked about like I have an eating disorder. I'm abusing laxative. I finally came clean with my sponsor. Um, and that person on the phone was actually saying to me, not my sponsor, but the person in VHI was saying to me, you have that appointment. Maybe you'll need to go in for a few weeks or something, And I was like, okay, right, this may not be a bad idea. So I meet the doc eventually, and it tells me exactly the same things. Like, first of all, do you have health insurance? I feel for the people who don't, to be fair, but I do. So he said, like, it'll be easier for you to come in for an assessment for a couple of weeks. Better to do it as an inpatient as opposed to an outpatient. So I went, okay, fine. Not surprised, kind of really going like, okay, I'm giving in. I can't do this on my own anymore. And I just thought 2 weeks, perfect, no problem. Till work, I said, like, I'm going for those 2 weeks, and then I'll take a week off, and then I'll come back to work. And um, I go over there. It's Bank Holiday June. I stay for the first week. I see the psychologist. I do all the paperwork and the assessment, blah, blah, blah. She comes back with, and then the team comes back with those 3 diagnoses, which was a little bit of I kind of understood the eating disorder side of things, but didn't expect the ADD side of things and didn't expect the emotional dysregulation. So I had to do a bit of research on that. But when I kind of understood, it made sense. It explained a lot of other things, very much like when alcoholism was explained to me, and it explained a lot of the things that I was actually doing and what I suffered from. That did exactly the same thing. So when my plan to leave after 2 weeks was at the window very quickly, so I said, okay, I'll stay for for the month, and I will get better. And I was put on those medications for the ADD, and of course, it's not working. I'm in a ball of fear. I think I'm going to relapse, or this is just like a total nightmare. I stopped trusting nearly. My head was like, I'm going to relapse. What am I going to do when I go out? I spoke to my sponsor about this. I was like, what am I going to do when I go out? I'm going to relapse. I'm going to relapse. And literally what I was doing is actually just making a statement, because I was creating that problem, that, I was literally, my disease was actually now lashing onto that as well. Like, you know what I mean? My mind I was not in a sound state of mind. That was for sure. But anyway, at some point after 3 weeks in there, I actually realized that I was not going to leave, and I didn't know when I was going to, but I didn't know when I was going to leave. So I told work, and it's like, I don't know when I'm going to leave. I have to stop making plans. My plans are not the right ones. And of course, they were absolutely happy with that. And okay, well, happy may not be the right word, but okay with it. Or really all they cared about is for me to kind of get well and actually come back to my full potential. So that was kind of a relief as well. And on my 6-year sobriety date, I actually stopped taking the medication. And I had done my research before on looking at something else that was non-stimulant, because that was one thing that I didn't want to have to deal with, right? And I also started talking to somebody in there as well. And she asked me the questions like, why are you not trusting in your recovery? And I was like, I don't know. Why am I not trusting it? So I had to really sit down and reflect on that. And it really kind of took a turn a little bit, right? At that point, when I, in fact, took responsibility for my own recovery. And I know I've mentioned that in somewhere else in another videos, I think. But it actually was a turning point, which was actually absolutely great. So I was put on new medication, and I was actually trying them out, and it wasn't really working either the way it was taken. So I had to really negotiate with the doctors, because ultimately I'm the experts on me, like, you know what I mean? The doctors are the experts on the diagnosis, but I'm the expert on who I am and how it feels, and I had to be able to express that. What happened in John of God is I don't know. It's, for me, it's little miracles, right? I actually really reconnected with my recovery, and I wasn't so scared of mental health issues anymore, because I'm the great one to say, leave the stigma. But yet again, I actually put all those prejudices on myself. And it's, talk about paradox, I'll tell you what to do and what not to do, but, don't tell me, or I won't do it for myself. So I had to really kind of, smash that ego of mine. Um, and s- stop being so hard on myself. Start putting the self care um, piece in place, um, and reconnect with my recovery as a alcohol and drug addict, um, and combine all of that into one recovery journey. And it's I don't know how to explain it right now. I'm actually filled with gratitude. I've met absolutely fantastic people in there. Um, some of them I'm helping, some of them are helping me. I have a friend moving in a few weeks, well, next week actually, and we are going to try to actually kind of support each other in our own recovery. Um, and that is the kind of things that I'm just like fucking blown away um, with um, with the people that I met. Um, I have a friend that is actually staying here right now as well, and it's so helpful because I've been isolating myself for so long, and I'm not talking about COVID only. I'm talking even before that. Um, I was so ashamed of myself, the way I looked, you know, um, I just didn't really love myself at all, and I'm actually just only kind of starting now. Um, yeah, this is the turning point, right? That I was probably dreaming of, or hoping for, or trying to force in, or whatever, and it had to take me to be removed from society and from my place, right? Because I wasn't even in society. I had to to be removed from my own environment to stay safe, to get better, to be come back here, to be put back, come back into this my place, and making it a different thing, making it a home, not only for me but for other people, um, and to actually ask for the help that I really need, like you know what I mean, and not to be afraid to say that I'm actually not doing well. Don't get me wrong, it's been a bit of a struggle. Like the eating disorder is really kicking my ass. Um, eh, you know, but at the same time, I know I've put some tools in place. I've started the RAP program. I've already had my first counseling session with a new counselor. I'm actually going to work not to go back full time, but gradually. Um, you know, um, I have I reach out to people. I'm being honest, you know, and I'm working my recovery the best that I can. Um, and learning new tools and trying to not to be better, but to get better. Try not to, I don't want to relapse straight away, you know what I mean? But I also have to give myself a chance to get better. And, even me, like over the last 2 weeks, it's kind of hitting me hard that I just get hard on myself, like going, why is it not happening like that? You know what I mean? Just give it to me now. Just put it in a bottle so I can drink it, and then it's done. And trying to do so many things at once all together, and I stop, and I need to start. I need to stop. I need to pause. I need to breathe. I need to take my time. Um, and I need to be honest. Honest with people, and more to the point, honest with myself. So yeah, 2 weeks out of the hospital yesterday. Uh, Life is a struggle, but it's worth living. I truly believe that today. Um, I am blessed with so many different things. Uh, my daughter being one of them, one of those little blessings. She's fucking amazing, and I love her to bits. The friends that I've made, the friends that I have, the family. I've reconciled with my mum in some shape or form, and it was actually a beautiful moment. Finally, after 6 years of working resentments and all of that, it suddenly kind of lifted, um, because I was actually able to just be completely honest and open, and she was too, and we gave each other that space to be able to do that, and it was beautiful. My sister is great. She's been absolutely supportive. Um, My family in Ireland here has been exactly the same. I don't know, if it's not worth living for, I don't know what is, like, and I just like, it feels like to me that I found another purpose, like, you know what I mean, in being here. You know, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I truly hope and I truly believe today that that I am getting better, you know, and that days will be shit, and some days will be great, and some days will be okay, and that's perfectly okay. I'm not looking to be happy all the time. I don't even know what it means, to be fair. I was asked that question, it's like, what does it mean to be happy to you? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know, you know. I don't know if it's a state of mind that I want to be, as opposed to appreciating the fact that I have happy moments. I kind of find it hard to box myself into some adjectives, right? Or finding out who I am, just am, and that's what it is today. And it's quite sufficient and it's quite enough. And I am enough, very much as all of you are enough. Not don't let anybody else tell you any otherwise, especially your mind. So peace out, everyone. Love you all. Bye.